Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back. Today, I want to talk about something that touches all of us, especially as we gather more years and, hopefully, more wisdom. It's about the quiet thieves of our joy, the words we use every day, often without a second thought, that slowly drain our happiness. Aging is a journey, and like any journey, it's best traveled with a light heart. So let us explore 9 words we can let go of, to make this chapter of our lives the most vibrant one yet. The first word is should. How often do we tell ourselves, I should have done this, or I should be doing that? Should is a word dripping with judgment and regret. It ties us to an imaginary rule book of how life was supposed to be, instead of allowing us to embrace the life we have. Every time we say should, we're comparing ourselves to an idealized version that doesn't exist. Let's try replacing should with could. I could try this new hobby, or I could call a friend. See the difference? Could is about possibility and choice. It opens doors instead of closing them. Letting go of should means giving yourself permission to be beautifully, imperfectly human. Next on our list is the word always. Think about it. You always do this, or this always happens to me. Always is a heavy, absolute term that rarely reflects reality. Life is a flowing river, not a stagnant pond. When we use always, we create a self-fulfilling prophecy, locking ourselves and others into rigid patterns. It erases any chance for change or growth. What if we instead said sometimes, or lately? Lately, I've been feeling this way. This simple shift acknowledges a pattern without making it a life sentence. It gives us the space to believe that things and people can change for the better. The third word is never, much like its twin, always. Never is a word of finality. I'll never be able to do that, or it's never going to get better. This word slams the door on hope. It's a declaration of defeat before we've even tried. But think back on your life. How many times did you think you'd never do something, only to find yourself doing it years later? Life is full of surprises. The future is unwritten. By banishing never from our vocabulary, we keep our minds and hearts open to the endless possibilities that each new day brings. It is about believing in the power of yet. I've unlearned this yet. Let's move on to the fourth word, regret. Oh, this is a heavy one. Regret is like trying to drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. It keeps us anchored to the past, replaying mistakes and missed opportunities. But here's the truth. Every decision you made, right or wrong, brought you to where you are today. It shaped the person you've become. Instead of regret, let's practice reflection. We can look back to learn, to understand, but not to dwell. Let's thank our past for the lessons it taught us, and then gently release it. Our present moment is a gift, and it's too precious to be spent living in yesterday. The fifth word that quietly steals our joy is perfect. The quest for perfection is exhausting. It sets an impossible standard for ourselves, our homes, our relationships, and our lives. Nothing in nature is perfect, and that's what makes it so beautiful. A gnarled old tree has more character than a perfectly straight one. Wabi-sabi, the Japanese philosophy, teaches us to find beauty in imperfection. So let's embrace the crooked smile, the slightly messy kitchen, the day that didn't go according to plan. Let's aim for good enough and find peace and freedom in that space. Life is richer and more authentic when we let go of the need for it to be perfect. Now for the sixth word, late. As in, it's too late for me. Too late to learn a new language. Too late to travel. Too late to fall in love. Who decided there's a deadline on dreams? Age is not a barrier. It's a badge of experience. Think of all the amazing people who achieved great things later in life. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. Grandma Moses started painting in her 70s. The only thing too late does is create a mental roadblock that isn't really there. Your time is now. This moment is the perfect time to start anything your heart desires. Let's replace it's too late with my time is now. The seventh word is burden. I hear this one whispered with such sadness. I don't want to be a burden. It comes from a place of love and consideration, but it isolates us. It prevents us from asking for the help and connection we all need. We are social creatures, meant to rely on one another. Allowing someone to help you is a gift to them. It lets them feel needed, capable, and loved. Your presence, your stories, your wisdom, these are not burdens. They are treasures. Please believe that you are valued and that your needs are valid. Reach out. Let people in. You are a gift, not a burden. Our 8th word is just. I'm just a retiree, or it was just a small thing. Just is a it shrinks our accomplishments, our roles, and our feelings. You're not just anything. You are a complex, fascinating individual with a lifetime of experience. That thing you did wasn't just a small thing. It was an act of kindness, a moment of creativity, a step forward. Let's own our value. Let's drop the joss and stand tall in who we are. Say, I am a retiree. I am a painter. I am a friend. Claim your identity with pride, without diminishing it. Finally, the 9th word is fine. How are you? I'm fine. We use it as a shield, a polite way to end a conversation when things are anything but fine. But fine can be the loneliest word in the world. It dismisses our true feelings and prevents genuine connection. When we're not fine, it's okay to say so. It's okay to be vulnerable with people you trust. Sharing your struggles doesn't make you weak. It makes you real, and it gives others the chance to support you. Let's try for more honest answers. I'm having a tough day, or I'm actually feeling wonderful today. Honesty builds bridges, where fine builds walls. The first word on our list is should. Oh, the tyranny of should. I should have started saving earlier. I should exercise more. I should be more like so-and-so. This word is a trap. It's often loaded with guilt, comparison, and unrealistic expectations set by others, or even a past version of ourselves. Every time you say should, you're subtly judging yourself against some imaginary standard. It creates a gap between where you are and where you think you're supposed to be. And that gap is filled with discontent. Instead of should, try using could. I could start saving a little more now. I could go for a walk today. See the difference? Could opens up possibilities and gives you choices, empowering you to take action without the heavy weight of obligation. It's about gentle intention, not harsh judgment. Next up, a word that often goes hand in hand with should, and that's supposed to. At my age, I'm supposed to have it all figured out. I'm supposed to be retired by now. Says who? This phrase is a shortcut to feeling like you're failing. It anchors you to a timeline that probably doesn't even exist, or one that was created for a different generation in a different world. Life isn't a straight line with preset milestones. It's a beautiful, messy, winding road. When you catch yourself thinking you're supposed to be somewhere you're not, pause and ask, is this truly my path, or a path I feel pressured to follow? Replace it with, I am right where I need to be on my journey. Embracing your unique path, with all its twists and turns, is a profound act of self-acceptance. Now for a seemingly innocent but truly limiting word. I'm just a beginner. Oh, it's just a little hobby. Using just minimizes your efforts, your talents, and your passions. It dismisses your own value before anyone else has a chance to see it. Think about it. You've learned something new. You've created something beautiful. You've taken a brave step that's not a just moment. That's a wow moment. Start owning your accomplishments, no matter how small they seem to you. Instead of, I'm just trying to paint, say I'm learning to paint. Instead of it's just an idea, say I have an idea. Removing just from your vocabulary is a powerful way to step into your own worth and command respect. Starting with respecting yourself. The 4th word is a heavy one, regret. We all have things in our past we wish we'd done differently, but living in a state of regret is like driving while looking only in the rearview mirror. You can't move forward. Regret chains you to a past you cannot change, draining your energy for the present. The key is to transform regret into a lesson. What did that experience teach you? How did it help you grow? Acknowledge the feeling, thank it for the wisdom it brought, and then release it. You can't rewrite the past, but you can use its lessons to write a better future. Forgiveness, especially for yourself, is the antidote to regret. Let it go and reclaim your energy for the here and now. Let's move on to the word can't. I can't learn that new technology. Can't travel alone. I can't make new friends at this age. Can't is a door slammer. It's a full stop. It shuts down possibilities before you even explore them. Often, can't is just fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of looking foolish. So, let's challenge it. The next time you think I can't, ask yourself, is that really true? Or am I just afraid? A brilliant replacement is I haven't learned how ... yet. This little word yet is magic. It turns a dead end into an open road. I haven't learned how to use that app yet. It acknowledges the current reality without closing the door on future growth. It's a statement of potential. Number 6 is the word always, and its equally problematic twin, never. I always mess things up. Things never work out for me. These are called cognitive distortions. They take a single event and paint your entire life with that one color. Is it really true that you asterisk always asterisk mess up, or that good things asterisk never asterisk happen? Of course not. This kind of absolute thinking is not only inaccurate, it's incredibly disempowering. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. 3 blessing, always and never with sometimes or this time. For example, sometimes I make mistakes, and that's okay. Or this time, it didn't work out the way I hoped. This brings you back to reality and gives you the grace to see each situation as a unique event, not a life sentence. The 7th word we need to ditch is failure. We have such a negative relationship with this word. But what if failure wasn't the opposite of success, but a stepping stone on the path to success? Every successful person, every inventor, every artist has a long list of failures that led them to their breakthrough. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." So, instead of seeing an undesirable outcome as a failure, see it as data or a learning experience. You tried something, and it produced a result. That's it. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's simply information you can use to adjust your approach for next time. When you stop fearing failure, you unlock your freedom to experiment, to innovate, and to truly grow. Our 8th word is perfect. The pursuit of perfection is the fast track to anxiety and procrastination. I'll start my project when I have the perfect plan. I can't share this until it's perfect. Perfection is an illusion. It doesn't exist. Striving for it will only lead to burnout and a feeling of never being good enough. Let's embrace good enough. This isn't about being lazy or mediocre. It's about recognizing that progress is more valuable than perfection. Done is better than perfect. Launch the project. Share the painting. Have the conversation. You can always iterate and improve later. Letting go of perfectionism allows you to actually live your life, to create, and to connect, instead of being paralyzed by an impossible standard. Finally, the 9th word we're letting go of is old. Yes, I said it. I'm too old for that. My old brain can't keep up. We use this word to build a cage for ourselves. Age is a fact, but old is a mindset. When you label yourself as old, you subconsciously adopt all the limiting stereotypes that go with it. You stop trying new things. You let your world shrink, and you prematurely give up your power. Instead of "I'm too old," try "I'm experienced," or "I'm wise." See your age as a source of strength, not a weakness. Your years have given you perspective, resilience, and a depth of character that is invaluable. Your age doesn't limit you. Your beliefs about your age are what limit you. Don't let a word define what you're capable of. So, there you have it. 9 words should, supposed to, just, regret. Can't, always, never, failure, perfect, and old. These words can quietly creep into our thoughts and chip away at our joy and confidence. But the good news is, we have the power to change our language. By becoming more mindful of the words we use, especially with ourselves, we can reframe our entire experience of aging. We can shift from a mindset of limitation to one of possibility. The first word is just. How often do you hear someone say, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, or I'm just a part-time volunteer. This little word minimizes our contributions, our roles, and our very essence. It implies that what we do isn't significant or valuable. When we use just, we're essentially apologizing for who we are and what we do. Think about it. When you describe your role or your passion, do you diminish it with this word? Starting today, let's banish just from our vocabulary when we talk about ourselves. You are not just anything. You are a complete, valuable individual. Your roles are important. Your hobbies are important. You are important. Instead of saying, I'm just a beginner, try, I'm learning a new skill. See the difference? It shifts the narrative from apology to empowerment. So, the first step to better aging is to own your worth and drop the just. Next up is the phrase, I'm too old for that. This one is a classic dream. It's a self-imposed limitation that shuts down opportunities for growth, fun, and new experiences. Whether it's learning a new language, starting a new fitness routine, or even wearing a bold color. Telling yourself you're too old is like locking a door and throwing away the key. Age is a number, but vitality is a mindset. Think of all the incredible people who achieved great things later in life. Grandma Moses started painting seriously at 78. Colonel Sanders franchised KFC in his 60s. Your life isn't on a decline. It's an ever-unfolding journey. Instead of I'm too old, try asking, how can I adapt this for myself? Or simply, why not? By reframing this, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities that you might have otherwise dismissed. You are never too old to learn, to grow, or to enjoy life to its fullest. Now, let's talk about should. I should exercise more. I should have called my friend. I should have saved more money. Should is a word loaded with guilt and judgment. It points to a gap between our reality and our perceived expectations, often leading to feelings of failure and regret. It keeps us stuck in the past, or worried about a future ideal, rather than living in the present. Living under a mountain of shoulds is exhausting. So, how do we break free? Let's try replacing should with could or I choose to. For instance, instead of I should exercise more, try I could go for a walk today. This transforms a command into a choice, giving you back your power and autonomy. Or, I choose to prioritize my health. This small linguistic shift can make a massive difference in your motivation and overall happiness. Let go of the pressure of shoulda and embrace the freedom of choice. Our fourth choice dealer is the word sorry, especially when used unnecessarily. Many of us, particularly women, have a habit of We say sorry for taking up space, for having an opinion, for asking a question. Sorry, can I just say something? Sorry to bother you when we do these. We are subconsciously signaling that our presence or our needs are an inconvenience. Of course, a genuine apology for a mistake is crucial, but constantly saying sorry for existing chips away at ourselves. Let's make a pact to replace unnecessary apologies with gratitude. Instead of sorry I'm late, try thank you for your patience. Instead of sorry for rambling, say thank you for listening. This not only boosts your own confidence, but also fosters a more positive interaction with others. Reserve sorry for when it truly counts, and for everything else, lead with thanks. Number 5 is a phrase that often comes disguised as humor. I am just an old fool, or I am having a senior moment. Even words spoken in jest can leave a mark. Saying things like this may get a chuckle from others, but it also plants seeds of shame and reinforces negative stereotypes about aging. When you repeatedly joke about being forgetful or clumsy because of your age, you start to believe it. You internalize this narrative that aging equals decline and incompetence. Humor is a beautiful, essential part of life, but it should never come at the cost of your self-respect. There are a million things to laugh about without putting yourself down. Let's find humor in life's absurdities, not in our own perceived shortcomings. Speak kindly about yourself, even when you're joking. Your inner self is always listening. The 6th phrase to let go of is, it's all downhill from here. This is perhaps one of the most pessimistic and damaging things we can tell ourselves as we age. It paints the future as a bleak, joyless slide into oblivion. But life isn't a simple hill. It's more like a vast, rolling landscape with peaks, valleys, and beautiful plateaus. Each stage of life brings its own unique challenges, yes, but also its own unique joys and wisdom. The later years can be a time of profound freedom, self-discovery, and deep connection. You have a lifetime of experience to draw from. You may have more time for passions you put on hold. To counter this phrase, focus on the uphills. The new skills you're learning, the relationships you're deepening, the wisdom you're gaining. Life is a continuous journey of becoming. Don't let this phrase convince you the best parts are already behind you. Next, we have the word can't. I can't learn that new technology. I can't travel alone. I can't make new friends. Can't is a dead-end word. It slams the door on potential and possibility without even trying. It's often rooted in fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of looking foolish. But every time we say I can't, we reinforce a belief in our own limitations. What if we replaced I can't with I am still learning how to? Or that feels challenging, but I'll give it a try. This simple change transforms a statement of impossibility into a statement of process and growth. The truth is, you are far more capable than you think. Maybe you can't do it perfectly on the first try, but you can always try. You can always learn. You can always grow. Don't let can't be the final word. Our eighth joy stealer is the comparison game, summed up by the phrase, they have it so much better. In the age of social media, it is incredibly easy to look at someone else's curated highlight reel and feel like our own life falls short. We compare our homes, our vacations, our families, our accomplishments, but this comparison is the fastest way to feel dissatisfied and ungrateful. You are running your own race. Your journey, with all its unique twists and turns, is not meant to look like anyone else's. Instead of looking outward and comparing, try looking inward and practicing gratitude. What are you thankful for in your own life right now? What small joys did you experience today? Focusing on your own blessings is the antidote to envy. Let's trade comparison for appreciation and celebrate our own unique paths. Aging is not a decline, it's a transformation. It's a privilege. But there are words, 9 of them in particular, that quietly sneak into our vocabulary and steal the joy, vibrancy, and power from this incredible process. If we keep using them, we reinforce a narrative that robs us of our dignity. So today, we're going to identify these joy stealers, and more importantly, we're going to let them go. Let's begin. The first word is burden. How many times have you heard someone, perhaps even yourself, say something like, I don't want to be a burden on my children? This word is heavy. It's soaked in guilt and obligation. When you label yourself a burden, you reduce your entire existence, all your love, your history, your contributions, down to a single, negative concept, a weight on others. But you are not a burden. You are a living story, rich with wisdom and experience. You are a source of connection, a grandparent, a parent, a friend, a mentor. The relationships in your life are built on love and reciprocity, not on a ledger of give and take. Asking for help isn't being a burden. It's being human. It's allowing others the opportunity to show their love for you. Let's replace burden with connection. Instead of, I don't want to be a burden, try thinking, I value my connection with my family, and we support each other. See how that feels? It's lighter, isn't it? Next up, the word forgotten. This one cuts deep because it plays on our fundamental need to matter, to be remembered. We might worry that as we age, our contributions will be overlooked, or that we'll become invisible in a world obsessed with youth. We see media celebrating the new and shiny, and we start to feel like a dusty book on a shelf. But here's the truth. Your legacy isn't just in grand achievements. It's in the daily kindnesses, the stories you've shared, the recipes you've perfected, the comfort you've given. You are not forgotten by the people whose lives you've touched. Your impact is a ripple that continues to spread. Instead of forgotten, let's embrace remembered. Focus on strengthening the bonds you have right now. Share your stories. Teach someone a skill. Your presence is your power, and it makes you unforgettable to those who matter most. The third word is irrelevant. Ouch. This word suggests that your opinions, your experiences, and your very presence no longer have value. In a fast-paced, tech-driven world, it's easy to feel like you've been left behind, that your knowledge is outdated. But wisdom is never irrelevant. Your perspective, honed over decades of triumphs and trials, is a rare and precious commodity. You've seen trends come and go. You understand human nature in a way that a 20-year-old simply can't. You are not irrelevant. You are a resource. A resource of wisdom, of history, of resilience. Your voice matters. Do not let the noise of the new drown out the enduring value of what you know. Engage in conversations, share your thoughts, and remember that your perspective adds a depth and richness that is desperately needed in our society. Now for number 4, old. I know, this one seems unavoidable. We say it all the time. I'm too old for that, or I'm just getting old. But think about what we're really saying. We use old as a synonym for weak, incapable, or finished. It becomes a self-imposed limitation, an excuse not to try new things or chase new dreams. The word itself becomes a cage, but your age is just a number. It's not a verdict on your capabilities. Let's reframe this. Instead of old, let's use experienced or seasoned. These words honor the journey. They imply strength and depth. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. Grandma Moses started painting in her 70s. You are not old. You are experienced, and your greatest chapter might still be unwritten. Don't let a 3-letter word decide what you can and cannot do. Word number 5 is useless. This is a particularly cruel word, one that often creeps in after retirement or when physical abilities change. It's the feeling that if you're not producing in a conventional economic sense, you have no purpose. This is a profound misunderstanding of human value. Your worth is not tied to your productivity. Your purpose can shift and evolve. It can be found in mentoring a young person, tending a garden, volunteering, creating art, or simply being a loving presence for your family and friends. You're not useless. You are valuable. Your value is inherent. It exists simply because you do. Your purpose now might be to enjoy, to learn, to love, and to be. And that is more than enough. It's everything. Let's move on to word number 6. Stuck. As in, I'm stuck in my ways. We say this almost as a point of pride sometimes, but it's a trap. It closes the door to growth, learning, and new experiences. It suggests that our personality and our potential are fixed and unchangeable. But neuroplasticity has shown us that our brains can form new connections and learn new things at any age. You are not stuck. You are evolving. Every day is a chance to learn something new, whether it's a new technology, a new hobby, or a new perspective on the world. Saying you're evolving opens you up to possibility. It acknowledges that your journey of growth doesn't have an expiration date. It's a lifelong adventure. The 7th word that steals our joy is decline. We hear it everywhere in the context of aging, cognitive decline, physical decline. The word itself paints a picture of a relentless, unavoidable slide downwards. It's a narrative of loss. While it's true that our bodies and minds change, decline is a one-sided, pessimistic view. What if we saw it differently? What if, for every physical step we slow down, we gain a step in wisdom and emotional intelligence? Instead of decline, let's think transformation. Your body is transforming, yes, but so is your spirit. You are transforming from a person focused on doing to a person focused on being. You're trading raw physical power for the profound strength of insight and grace. That's not a decline. That's a powerful and beautiful transformation. Word number 8 is lonely. Loneliness is a real and painful feeling, and it can become more common as social circles change with age. But labeling yourself as lonely can turn a temporary feeling into a permanent identity. It can make us passive, waiting for someone to come and fix it. But we have agency. Instead of focusing on the label lonely, let's focus on the action. Connecting, you may feel a desire for more connection. and that's a call to action. It's a cue to reach out to an old friend, join a local club, take a class, or volunteer. The focus shifts from a state of being to an active pursuit. The feeling might be a lack of connection, but the solution is the act of connecting. It puts the power back in your hands. So there they are. Burden, forgotten, irrelevant, old, useless, stuck, decline, lonely, and finished. 9 words that we give far too much power to. They create a narrative of aging that is bleak, restrictive, and frankly, untrue. First up on our list are 2 simple but incredibly destructive words. I can't. How many times have you stopped yourself from trying something new, from pursuing a dream, or even from a simple daily task with this phrase? I can't learn that new technology. I can't start exercising now. I can't make new friends at this age. When we say I can't, we're not stating a fact. We're expressing a fear or a doubt. We're drawing a line in the sand and refusing to cross it, effectively closing a door before we've even checked to see if it's unlocked. The truth is, I can't is often a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you tell yourself you're incapable, you stop looking for solutions. You stop trying. Your brain takes this as an instruction and shuts down the creative problem-solving parts of you. The alternative, try swapping I can't with how can I. This simple shift changes everything. It turns a dead end into a puzzle. How can I learn this new technology? Maybe means asking a grandchild for help or finding a YouTube tutorial. How can I start exercising? Could mean starting with a 5-minute walk. It's about opening yourself up to possibility instead of shutting down in defeat. Next, let's talk about the word should. I should have saved more money. I should have visited my family more often. I should have bought that house. Should is a word drenched in guilt and regret. It chains us to an idealized version of the past, or a set of external expectations that may not even align with who we are. When we use should, we're judging ourselves against a standard of perfection that doesn't exist. It implies that we've made a mistake, or that we're failing in some way. This constant self-criticism is exhausting, and it drains the joy from the present moment. Living in a state of should means you're never truly where you are. You're always looking back with regret, or looking at others with envy. 2, break free. 3, replussing should with could. I could choose to save more money starting today. Could plan a visit with my family next month. See the difference. Could offers choice and empowerment. It acknowledges your ability to make a different decision moving forward, without the heavy baggage of past judgment. It's about taking gentle, forward-facing action instead of being stuck in a cycle of shame. The 3rd joy stealer is the word always, especially when used negatively. You always do that. I always mess things up. It's always raining when I want to go out. Always, and it's never are words of exaggeration. They paint a picture of permanence and hopelessness. When we say, I always mess things up, we're ignoring all the times we've succeeded. We're discounting our strengths and accomplishments, focusing only on the perceived failures. This kind of black and white thinking is a cognitive distortion. Life is rarely so absolute. Usain always creates a rigid, negative narrative about ourselves, others, and the world. It leaves no room for change, growth, or grace. Instead of always, try being more specific and realistic. Instead of, I always forget things, try I've been forgetting things more often lately. Maybe I should write them down. This is a solvable problem, not a permanent character flaw. Acknowledging the nuances of situations allows us to approach them with a more balanced and hopeful perspective, which is essential for our long-term happiness. Let's move on to number 4. The word but. I'd love to take that art class, but I'm not creative. I want to travel, but I don't have enough money. You did a good job, but you missed this one spot. But is a negating word. It essentially cancels out whatever came before it. It's the king of excuses and a classic dream. It's the verbal roadblock we put up between ourselves and our desires. When we use but, we are giving our power away to our perceived limitations. The first part of the sentence is our heart's desire, and the second part is the fear that holds us back. And guess which part usually wins? The fear. A powerful way to reclaim your joy is to replace but with and. Let's try it. I'd love to take that art class, and I'm a little nervous because I don't feel creative. Doesn't that feel different? It acknowledges both the desire and the challenge without letting one erase the other. I want to travel, and I need to figure out a savings plan to make it happen. And connects ideas. It creates possibilities. It allows both things to be true at once, empowering you to hold the dream while you work on the obstacle. Next on our list is the word failure. This is a heavy one. We're so often taught to fear failure, to see it as an endpoint, a final judgment on our worth or ability. That business was a failure. I failed at my marriage. I'm afraid to try because I might fail. Framing an experience as a failure assigns it a permanent, negative identity. It ignores all the learning, the growth, and the courage that went into the attempt. But what if we reframed it? What if failure wasn't an endpoint, but a data point? What if it was just feedback? Every successful person in any field has a long list of failures behind them. They just didn't call them that. They called them experiments, lessons, or stepping stones. When you release the word failure, you release the shame associated with it. Instead, you can say, that didn't work out as I planned. What did I learn? Or that approach wasn't successful, so I'll try a different one. This mindset shift transforms a source of pain into a source of wisdom. It gives you the resilience to get back up and try again, which is the true secret to success and joy in the long run. The sixth word we need to let go of is perfect. The pursuit of perfection is a trap that guarantees disappointment. I can't start until I have the perfect plan. This meal isn't perfect. I'm waiting for the perfect time to retire. Here's the truth. Perfection doesn't exist in the real world. It's an illusion. Striving for it sets an impossible standard that will always leave you feeling inadequate. It leads to procrastination because the fear of not achieving perfection can be It steals the joy from your accomplishments because you're always focused on the tiny flaw instead of the overall good. As we age, letting go of perfectionism is a profound act of self-compassion. It's about embracing good enough. It's about celebrating progress, not perfection. Instead of trying to make something perfect, aim to make it done. Aim to make it better. Celebrate the effort, the learning, and the simple act of creating or doing. Trading the stressful pursuit of perfection for the gentle acceptance of imperfection will bring an incredible sense of peace and freedom to your life. Now for number 7, a seemingly innocent word. Jess. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. It was just a small promotion. I'm just calling to see how you are. Jess is a minimizing word. We often use it to downplay our importance, our achievements, or our needs. When you say, I'm just a ... double quotes, you are diminishing your role and your value. When you say, it was just a ... double quotes, you're shrinking your accomplishments. This habit of self-minimization chips away at your self-esteem over Jimmy. It teaches you, and others, that you are not important. It's time to own your space, your achievements, and your feelings. Drop the just. Say, I am a stay-at-home mom. Say, I got a promotion. Say, I'm calling to see how you are. Do you feel the shift in power? It's subtle but significant. Your contributions matter. Your feelings are valid. Your presence is important. Removing just from your vocabulary is a simple but powerful way to start speaking about yourself with the confidence and respect you deserve. The 8th joy-stealing phrase is comparing ourselves to others. Phrases like, they are so much more successful, or I wish I had her life. Comparison is the thief of joy. In the age of social media, it's easier than ever to fall into this trap. We see curated highlight reels of other people's lives and compare them to our own behind-the-scenes reality. This is a recipe for discontent. It makes our own blessings and achievements feel small and insignificant. Remember, you are on your own unique journey. Your path, with all its twists and turns, is not meant to look like anyone else's. As we get older, we have the wisdom to understand this more deeply. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you a little kinder? A little wiser? A little closer to your goals? That is the only comparison that matters. Focus on your own growth. Practice gratitude for what you have and celebrate your own progress. True joy is found not in being better than someone else, but in becoming a better version of yourself. First up is the word should. Oh, the tyranny of should. I should have started saving earlier. I should exercise more. Should be further along in my career by now. This word is a thief. It steals our present joy by chaining us to a past we coin. Change or a future standard we feel we failing to meet. It's loaded with judgment and guilt. Every time we use should, we're essentially criticizing ourselves. What if we swapped it for I could start a new saving plan today. I could go for a walk this afternoon. See the difference? Could opens up possibilities and gives you control. It's an invitation, not a command. It's about choice, not obligation. Letting go of should means you stop living by someone else's rule book and start writing your own. You accept where you are right now and empower yourself to make a different choice moving forward. Next on our list is a two-word phrase, but it packs a powerful punch. What if? This one is the fuel for anxiety. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I get sick? It drags our minds into a spiral of negative future scenarios that have not happened and probably won't. It keeps us stuck in a state of fear, preventing us from taking risks or embracing new experiences. Aging gracefully is about living fully, not cowering from imagined disasters. So, how do we counter what if? Try flipping the script to a positive. What if I succeed? What if this is the best decision I've ever made? Or, even better, ground yourself in the present with what is. What is true right now? Right now, you are here. You are capable. You are breathing. Focus in on T. What is brings you back to reality, where you have the power to act, instead of being paralyzed by 1,000 fictional futures. Now for a classic joy stealer. The word always, and its equally sneaky twin, never. I always mess things up. I never get it right. Things will never change. These are called absolute words, and our brains often accept them as undeniable truths. But life is rarely absolute. Using always and never paints a picture of permanence that is simply false. It creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe you always fail, you'll be less likely to try. If you think you'll never find happiness, you'll stop looking for it. The antidote here is to be more specific and realistic. Instead of, I always procrastinate, try sometimes. I struggle with procrastination, but today I'll tackle one task. Replace I'll never learn this with this is challenging, but I can learn it step. This small shift in language acknowledges the challenge without surrendering to it. It makes room for growth and change, which are essential at any age. Let's talk about the word just. I'm just a beginner. It was just a small accomplishment. I'm just staying home. This word is it diminishes your efforts, your achievements, and your value. When you use just, you are pre-apologizing for yourself. You're telling the world, and more importantly, yourself, that what you're doing isn't significant. Stop it! Own your journey. You are a beginner, and that's fantastic. It means you're learning and growing. That accomplishment wasn't just small, it was a step forward. You're not just staying home. You're resting, recharging, or creating a sanctuary for yourself. Removing just from your vocabulary is an act of self-respect. It allows you to stand tall in your experiences, no matter how big or small they may seem. Your journey is valid. Your efforts matter. Don't downplay them. Our fifth word is a heavy one. Regret. We all have things in our past we wish we'd done differently, but living in a state of regret is like driving while looking only in the rearview mirror. You're bound to crash. Regret keeps us tethered to a past we cannot alter, draining our energy for the present and future. It is a heavy burden that makes aging feel like a collection of mistakes rather than a tapestry of experiences. The key here is to transform regret into wisdom. Acknowledge the feeling, yes, but then ask, what did I learn from that experience? How has it made me stronger or wiser today? That mistake wasn't a failure. It was a lesson. Forgiving yourself is a crucial part of this process. You did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. Thank your past self for the lesson, and then gently release the weight of that regret. Use that wisdom to build a better future. Next, we have the phrase, "I'm too old." This might be the most common dream killer as we age. I'm too old to start a new business. I'm too old to learn the guitar. I'm too old to fall in love again. This phrase is a self-imposed prison. It's an excuse that closes doors before you even check if they're locked. The truth is age is a chronological fact, but old is a mindset. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. Grandma Moses began painting in her late 70s. Age brings experience, wisdom, and often more freedom. Instead of "I'm too old," try asking, "How can I adapt this to my current life?" Or "What's the first step I can take?" Your age doesn't define your ability to learn, grow, or contribute. Let go of this limiting belief, and you'll discover that your timeline is your own. The only thing you might be too old for is listening to the voice that says you are too old. Let's move on to the word perfect. The pursuit of perfection is a recipe for unhappiness. I can't launch my website until it's perfect. I won't share my art until it's perfect. Perfectionism isn't about having high standards. It's about fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of failure. It leads to procrastination and a constant feeling of not being good enough. As we age, we should be embracing our imperfections, the very things that make us unique and human. The Japanese have a beautiful concept called wabi-sabi, which finds beauty in imperfection. Your flaws, your quirks, your so-called mistakes. They tell your story. So, strive for good enough or done instead of perfect. Share your work. Take that step. Launch that project. Progress over perfection. Embracing this mindset is liberating. It allows you to actually live your life instead of endlessly preparing for it. The 8th word is can't. I can't do that. It is a full stop. A brick wall. When you say "I can't," your brain stops looking for solutions. It accepts defeat. But is it truly that you can't? Or is it that you don't know how yet? Or maybe you're afraid to try. Or perhaps you simply choose not to. Changing "I am" to "I'm not sure how," or "I am choosing not to prioritize that right now," is a game. "I'm not sure how" opens the door to learning and seeking help. "I'm choosing not to" gives you back your power and agency. It's an active choice, not a passive limitation. Think about it. A toddler learning to walk falls down hundreds of times. But they never think, "I can't walk." They just keep trying. Let's reclaim a bit of that toddler tenacity. Challenge your can'ts. You are far more capable than that single word gives you credit for. The first word on our list is one we use all the time, often, without a second thought. Should. I should exercise more. I should have called my friend. I should be further along in my career. Can you feel that? Should is loaded with judgment and guilt. It's a word that compares our current reality to some imaginary, perfect standard, and it almost always leaves us feeling like we're falling short. It creates a constant, low-level hum of pressure and inadequacy. Instead of empowering us, it shames us. Let's try a simple swap. Instead of should, try could, or I want to. I could go for a walk today feels like a choice, an opportunity. I want to connect with my friend comes from a place of desire, not obligation. This small shift transforms a command into an invitation, and it frees you from the tyranny of expectation. Try it. For a week, notice how many times you say should and consciously replace it. You'll feel a weight lift off your shoulders. I promise. Next up, we have the word can't. I can't learn that new skill. I can't change now. I'm too old. I can't handle this. Can't is a door slammer. It's a full stop. A declaration of limitation that shuts down all possibility before you even begin. When you say I can't, your brain listens and says, okay, mission aborted. No need to look for solutions. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The truth is, most of the time when we say can't, what we really mean is, I don't know how yet, or I'm afraid to try, or even I don't want to. So, let's get honest with ourselves. Instead of I can't, try reframing it. How can I learn this? Opens up a path for problem solving. I'm choosing not to focus on that right now. Acknowledges your agency. Or even, this feels challenging, but I'm willing to try. See the difference? You move from a state of helplessness to a position of power. Your potential is not fixed, so don't use a word that pretends it is. The third joy stealer is the word always, and its equally problematic twin, never. You always do that. I never get it right. These are words of permanence and exaggeration. Life is fluid, people are complex, and very few things are truly always or never. When we use these words, we're often painting a situation with a broad, negative brush, ignoring all the exceptions. It locks us and others into rigid, often unfair, boxers. It fuels resentment in relationships and reinforces negative self-beliefs. Think about it. Have you really never gotten anything right? Of course not. Has someone always let you down? Probably not. A more accurate and gentle approach is to use words like sometimes, often, or recently. Lately, I've noticed ... double quotes. Or, sometimes, when this happens, I feel ... This simple change makes your statement less accusatory and more factual. It opens the door for conversation instead of shutting it down with an absolute. It brings nuance and grace back into your perspective, which is essential for emotional well-being. Let's talk about the fourth word, but. This little word is a master of negation. It cleverly invalidates whatever came before it. I love you, but ... That was a good effort. But ... double quotes. I want to go on that trip. But ... The buddy receives the positive sentiment and places all the focus on the problem or excuse that follows. It creates a yes, but culture in our minds, where every positive thought is immediately challenged by a negative one. To reclaim your joy, try replacing but with an I love you, and I feel hurt when you say that. That was a good effort, and here's an area for improvement. I want to go on that trip, and I need to figure out the finances, and allows two things to be true at once. It acknowledges the positive while also addressing the challenge, without one canceling out the other. It fosters a mindset of integration rather than opposition, allowing you to hold both the desire and the obstacle in your hands at the same time, which is the first step to finding a real solution. Number 5 is a word that drips with regret. If only I had bought that house. If only I had taken that job. If only I hadn't said that. This phrase is a one-way ticket to the past, a place you can visit but never change. It keeps you chained to old decisions and hypothetical scenarios, draining your energy from the present moment. Living in if only is like trying to drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. You can't move ahead, and you're bound to crash. Instead of dwelling on what could have been, let's bring our focus to the here and now. A powerful replacement for if only is next time. If only I had studied more becomes next time. I will set aside more time to prepare. This shift transforms regret into a lesson. It takes the painful energy of the past and reinvests it into a better future. It's about acknowledging the experience and using it as fuel for growth, not as a stick to beat yourself with. Our 6th word is subtle but corrosive. Fine. How are you? I'm fine. How was your day? It was fine. Fine is often a mask. It's the word we use when we don't want to engage. When we're hiding our true feelings, whether it's sadness, anger, or even great joy. It's a dismissal. It robs us of the opportunity for genuine connection with others and with ourselves. When you say you're fine, you're telling yourself and the world that your true emotional state isn't worth sharing. Over time, this creates a distance, a feeling of being unseen and misunderstood. Let's challenge ourselves to be more authentic. If you're feeling fantastic, say it. I'm feeling really great today. Thanks. If you're struggling, it's okay to share a little more. Honestly, I'm having a bit of a tough day. You don't have to but moving beyond fine opens the door for real empathy and support, building stronger, more meaningful relationships. Number 7 is failure. This word is so heavy, so final. We often see failure as the opposite of success, an endpoint that signifies a lack of worth or ability. The business was a failure. I'm a failure. This label is incredibly destructive to our self-esteem and our willingness to take future risks. But what if we redefined it? The most successful people in the world don't see failure as an end. They see it as data. It's feedback. It's an outcome that didn't meet the expectation. Instead of failure, let's use words like listen, experiment, or stepping stone. That business venture was a huge learning experience. That attempt didn't work out, so I'll try a different approach. This reframing removes the personal shame and judgment. It turns a dead end into a detour, a painful stop into a valuable part of the journey. Every great success story is built on a foundation of so-called failures. Embrace them as part of your growth. The eighth word to let go of is perfect. The pursuit of perfection is a trap. I'll launch my website when it's perfect. I can't host dinner until my house is perfect. Perfection is an impossible standard that leads to procrastination, anxiety, and a chronic feeling of not being good enough. It paralyzes us. It keeps us from sharing our gifts with the world because we're afraid of being judged for any tiny flaw. The antidote to perfectionism is embracing good enough. It's about progress, not perfection. Instead of waiting for the perfect time, just start. Instead of aiming for a perfect outcome, aim for completion. Done is better than perfect. Give yourself permission to be human, to be messy, to be imperfect. That's where the real magic, the real connection, and the real growth happens. Your authentic, imperfect self is far more interesting and valuable than some sterile, unattainably ideal. The first word is should. How often do you find yourself saying, I should be further along in my career. I should have saved more money. Or I should be more active. Should is a heavy word, loaded with judgment and comparison. It chains you to a set of expectations that might not even be your own. When you say should, you're essentially telling yourself you're falling short. Instead, try replacing it with could. I could explore a new hobby, or I could start a small savings plan today. Could opens up possibilities and gives you back control without the guilt. It shifts your focus from what you haven't done to what you can do right now. Next up, let's tackle the word can't. I can't learn that new technology. I can't travel alone. I can't start a new fitness routine at my age. Can't is a door slammer. It's a full stop that shuts down potential before you've even given yourself a chance. Often, I can't really means I'm afraid to. I'm not sure how, or I haven't tried yet. So, challenge it. Can't. Ask yourself, what if I could? Or try a softer approach. I'm still learning how to do that. Orael, give it a try. This simple switch changes your mindset from one of limitation to one of exploration and growth. Aging is not about closing doors. It's about discovering new ones to open. The third word we need to release is always, especially when it's paired with a negative. I always mess things up. I'm always late. Things always go wrong for me. Always, and its twin, never, are words of permanence. They paint a picture of your life, and your character is fixed and unchangeable. But that's simply not true. You are a dynamic, evolving person. No single mistake or habit defines you forever. Instead of always, be specific. And be kind to yourself. I messed that up, but I learned something, or I ran late today. I'll plan better tomorrow. This acknowledges the situation without turning it into a life sentence. Now, for a phrase that is particularly damaging as we navigate the changes that come with age. Too late. It's too late to change careers. It's too late to find love. It's too late to get in shape. This phrase is one of the biggest joy stealers out there. It dismisses your future before it has even begun. Think of all the incredible people who achieved amazing things later in life. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. And Grandma Moses began her painting career in her late 70s. Life is not a race with a finish line for dreams. Your timeline is your own. Replace it as too late with the time is now, or I am starting a new chapter. Every single day is a new opportunity to begin. The fifth word is failure. We're so conditioned to see things in terms of success or failure. If a project doesn't work out, it's a failure. If a relationship ends, it's a failure. This black and white thinking is incredibly restrictive and harmful. It ignores all the valuable lessons, the growth, and the experiences gained along the way. Let's reframe failure as feedback or a lesson. What did you learn from that experience? How can it help you grow? When Thomas Edison was asked about his many attempts to invent the light bulb, he reportedly said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset. Every attempt, regardless of the outcome, is a step forward on your journey. Let's move on to the sixth one. Perfect. The pursuit of perfection is exhausting, and it's a game you can never win. I need to find the perfect time to start. This has to be perfect, or it's not worth doing. This mindset leads to procrastination and a constant feeling of inadequacy. Striving for excellence is great, but demanding perfection kills joy and creativity. Embrace good enough. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Done is better than perfect. Give yourself permission to be human, to be beautifully imperfect. Your home, your work, your life, they don't have to be perfect to be wonderful. The seventh word is a subtle but powerful one. I'm just a stay-at-home mom. I'm just a part-time employee. I'm just trying out a small hobby. The word just diminishes your role, your efforts, and your identity. It's a way of making yourself smaller. You are not just anything. You are a stay-at-home mom, a role that requires immense skill and dedication. You are a part-time employee. You are exploring a new hobby. Remove just from your vocabulary and own your titles and your actions with confidence. Stand tall in who you are and what you do. Our eighth phrase is, I'm broken. We often use this when we're going through a tough time, a health challenge, a heartbreak, or a deep loss. We feel like we've been shattered into pieces. But thinking of yourself as broken implies that you are damaged beyond repair. It's a state of being, a final verdict. A much more empowering and truthful perspective is I am healing. Healing is a process. It acknowledges the pain and the wound, but it focuses on recovery, on mending, on becoming whole again, perhaps in a new and stronger way. You are not broken. You are resilient. You are healing. The first word on our list is one I hear all the time. Should. I should be more active. I should have accomplished more by now. Should is a word drenched in guilt and external expectation. It implies there's a right and a wrong way to live your life, a universal scorecard you're failing to meet. But whose scorecard is it? Society's? Your younger self's? When you say should, you're judging yourself against a standard that might not even be yours. It creates a constant feeling of falling short. Let's try replacing it. Instead of I should, what if we tried I could? I could go for a walk today. See the difference? Could opens up possibilities without the pressure. It gives you a choice, empowering you instead of shaming you. It shifts your mindset from obligation to opportunity. Next up, a sneaky one. I'm just a retiree. It's just a little hobby. Just as a minute. It shrinks your identity, your accomplishments, and your passions. You are not just anything. You're a complex individual with a lifetime of experiences. That hobby isn't just a hobby. It's a source of your creativity and passion. Using just is like putting a filter on your own brilliance, making it appear smaller to others and, more importantly, to yourself. Let's make a pact to drop the just. Own your roles, your passions, and your statements. You are a retiree. You have a hobby you're passionate about. Period. Stand tall in your statements and give yourself the credit you deserve. The third word is a big one. Always. As in, I always mess things up, or this always happens to me. Always, and its partner never, are words of permanence. They turn a single event or a temporary feeling into a life sentence. But life isn't that black and white, is it? When you use always, you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start looking for evidence to prove your statement right. ignoring all the times you succeeded or when things went well. It's a cognitive distortion that locks you into a negative cycle. Instead, let's get specific. Instead of, I always mess up, try, I made a mistake in that situation. This acknowledges the event without defining your entire character. It keeps the problem manageable and allows room for growth and change. Now for number 4. Can't. This one is the ultimate dream killer. I can't learn a new skill at my age. I can't travel alone. Can't is a closed door, a full stop. It's a wall we build around ourselves, often out of fear of failure or the unknown. But is it really true that you can't? Or is it that you haven't tried yet? Or you're worried about the outcome? Challenge that can't. Replace it with, I haven't learned how to do that. Yet. Or I'm a little nervous about traveling alone, so how can I make it feel safer? This simple shift in language transforms a dead end into a problem to be solved. It opens your mind to finding solutions, seeking help, and discovering a strength you never knew you had. Our 5th word is subtle but powerful. 2. As in, it's too late to start a business, or I'm too old to wear that. 2 is a word of comparison and limitation. Too late, compared to what? Too old, according to whom? This word often reflects ageist beliefs that we've internalized from society. It convinces us there's a strict timeline for life's experiences, for learning, for love, for joy, for style. But that's simply not true. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. Grandma Moses started painting in her late 70s. Let's banish too from our vocabulary. There is no expiration date on your dreams or your self-expression. It's never too late, and you are never too old to be authentically, wonderfully you. Moving on to word number 6. Tired. Now, hear me out. Of course, physical fatigue is real, but how often do we use I am tired as a default excuse for not engaging with life? We say it when we feel uninspired, bored, or a bit down. It becomes a catch-all phrase that lets us off the hook from trying new things or connecting with people. Using tired as a shield can lead to a cycle of inactivity, which, ironically, can make you feel even more lethargic. Next time you're about to say I'm tired, pause and ask yourself what you're really feeling. Are you unmotivated? Are you feeling a bit lonely? Acknowledging the real emotion can help you find a real solution, rather than just retreating to the couch. Maybe what you need isn't a nap, but a stimulating conversation or a walk in the park. Word number 7 is fine. How are you? Oh, I'm fine. How many times have we had that exact exchange? Fine is a conversation stopper. It's a polite, socially acceptable wall we put up to avoid being vulnerable or to keep from burdening others. But in doing so, we rob ourselves of genuine connection. We miss the chance to share our joys, our worries, and our true feelings. When you're feeling great, say it. I'm feeling fantastic today. When you're struggling, it's okay to share that too. I'm having a bit of a tough day. Being honest allows people to connect with the real you. Let's retire fine in favor of something more authentic. Our 8th word is regret. Oh, regret is such a heavy burden to carry. It keeps us anchored in the past, replaying mistakes and missed opportunities. I regret not taking that job. I regret the words I said. While it's healthy to learn from our past, living in a state of regret is like driving while looking only in the rearview mirror. You can't move forward. The past is unchangeable. The only power you have is in this present moment. A powerful practice is to try and reframe regret as a lesson. What did that experience teach you? How has it shaped the person you are today? Acknowledge the lesson. Thank it for its wisdom. And then give yourself permission to release the emotional weight. Forgiveness both for others and for yourself is the antidote to regret. Finally, our 9th word. Old? Yes, old. Now, getting older is a fact of life, but old as an identity, as an excuse, is a joy. When we say, I'm too old for that, we're using age as a reason to stop living fully. We're subscribing to a stereotype of decline and but age is just a number. Your spirit, your curiosity, and your capacity for joy are ageless. Let's reframe how we talk about this stage of life. Instead of getting old, what about getting wiser, gaining experience, or simply living longer? Your age is a testament to your resilience and your journey. Don't let the word old become a cage. You are a person who has lived for many years, and that is a privilege and a source of strength. So today, take a moment to listen to your inner dialogue. What words have you been carrying that no longer serve you? Should, just, always, can't, too, tired, fine, regret, and old. These words are quiet thieves of joy. Let them go. Let them go. Replace them with language that reflects the truth. You are still growing, still learning, still worthy, and still full of life. It is about making a conscious choice to speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a dear friend. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And do you and I forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you and I miss our future conversations. What word are you committing to letting go of? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, be kind to yourself.